Hi everyone, this is Becca with House of Lenormand. Welcome back to my channel. Today I decided to do a reading to see what Donald J. Trump and Putin were talking about over their phone conversation. And I went ahead and threw a double line of 7 here to get some answers. And I went ahead and pulled 4 tarot on the top to get some clarification. So let's go ahead and dive in. On the first row, the first row on the top, we have ring, tree, house, child, dog, clover, and scythe. Second row, we have the coffin, the bear, birds, whip, stars, tower, and fox. So we can see here that there was an agreement that ended, a partnership that ended, an agreement that ended. There is a legacy about someone in a position of power, or a legacy with someone's possessions. This is talking about assets that you own, or it could also be a person in a position of power. With the house and birds, we see communications or negotiations or phone conversations, a small meeting, a small group of people, usually between 2 people, no more than 5. We see a conversation that took place, and it's regarding the family and or real estate. We see that there's a new argument coming in as well, or a new disagreement, a new debate with the child and whip. We also see with the dog and stars that someone is asking for help. This is asking for assistance, for guidance, someone that you're loyal to. Next, with the clover and the tower, we're seeing an opportunity for a corporation or the government, an institution, something that has a structure to it, like a top-down, bottom structure. So there's an opportunity for, this could quite possibly be his project that he's trying to do overseas. The Trump Tower, this is also an opportunity in government or a corporation. And then we see a decision that is fraudulent or a dangerous enemy, or something that is very dangerous and is coming from a fraudulent person, or it's a decision that was made out of self-interest. Here with the ring and fox, we're seeing an agreement that is false. There's a false agreement. It's not kosher. It's not a good agreement. It's a very bad agreement. But so we're seeing, even though one agreement has ended, there's a new one that is coming in that is to serve, it's out of self-interest. We're also seeing that even though this agreement ended, the conversation had to do with a new agreement with someone that you trust that is not what they appear to be. It's a dangerous person. So, and there has something to do with a new person in a position of authority, or there has something to do with new finances for property, assets. Here on this bottom row, we can see that there was a loss for a person in a position of power, and or communications with someone about their assets. And this is right here is a debate. So perhaps he's asking for help in the upcoming debate. With if this is a conversation, this is disagreements, so this could be quite literally a debate, and he's asking for help for them to dig up dirt on opponents. But again, like I said, even though he's asking for the help, it's done in a roundabout, manipulative way. He's not being direct about it. He's being very, very sneaky, okay? So he's asking for help, quite possibly to dig up dirt through internet. Here's the internet, hacking, to dig up dirt on his opponents, to give him an opportunity or an advantage in the upcoming debates. But we're seeing a lot of communication here that has to do with his finances and his properties, his assets. So this could literally be about a new tower, a new Trump Tower, and new financing. That's new, that's financing. So there's new financing for the tower, and that's what the conversation was about. So he's asking for help in hacking in a roundabout way. There's for the upcoming debates, he's asking them to dig up dirt on his opponents through internet hacking in a roundabout way. He's not being open about it. And even though one agreement ended, an agreement or a partnership ended, there's a new one coming in. There's a new agreement here, a new conversation, a new agreement for new financing for a tower or a hotel or something that has to do with property and finances. On the top row for the clarifiers that I pulled, we have the Knight of Coins, the Ace of Coins, the Chariot, and the Page of Coins, so that we can see here that this is indeed talking about money. The conversation was an agreement for money and financing, the money coming in, getting the loan, getting the funds needed to maintain control. So yeah, that was that reading. The next one I'm going to do, since I wanted to pull a clarifier on this to see if there was an agreement and he was asking for help, I went ahead and asked point blank on a 3-card spread if he asked Putin for help with the upcoming presidential election. And I'm going to go ahead and pull that for you next. And we'll come back and revisit that answer. Okay, so this next reading was to clarify if Donald Trump had asked Putin for help in the upcoming 2020 presidential election. And we have here dog, key, and clover. So that is a clear, definitive yes. This is asking a friend, someone of importance, for to take a risk or to take a gamble or give you a little bit of help. This is someone that helps you, a guide, an advisor, someone that you trust, a really good friend. And this is a most definite yes, and this is taking a risk and a gamble, an opportunity. So he's asking for help in the upcoming 2020 elections. Okay, everyone, this next reading was to find out what agreement did Donald Trump make with Vladimir Putin during their phone conversation. Since the first reading that we did, we saw that there was an agreement, a new agreement that was made out of self-interest. So here on the first row, we have cross, followed by the birds, clover, moon, tower, key, and rider. On the next row, we have the bottom row, we have the sun, the ship, the child, the bear, the lilies, the coffin, and the letter. So off the first row, we can see that he's had a lot of trouble. There's been a lot of burden negotiating an opportunity for him to quite possibly put his name on a tower, and the delivery of that news, of that conversation. On the second row, we see that there's success overseas with new financing that he's been wanting for a long time that he's never been able to accomplish. This right here, he's never been able to accomplish it. And there's new information, new news coming in with these two. Okay, so it looks like the conversation that he had over the phone with someone overseas had to do with his reputation and financing, but that didn't come to fruition, or it was a significant loss, or it has to be maintained buried. That information cannot come out. There's a new opportunity or a new chance, new luck to revitalize this. It looks like he was trying to revitalize that deal to put his name on a tower. And it also looks like it was a difficult, he's having difficulties overseas with someone new that's in a position of authority for in government that is ending, and a new message coming in. So I'm not sure if the conversation had to do with Kim Jong-un, a younger person in a position of authority. I'm sure that they discussed that over the phone, how his meeting went with Kim Jong-un, because this is a small authority or a younger authority figure. or someone that is younger, that is in a position of power, as we can see here. So we can see that he quite possibly spoke about, Kim Jong-un and where he's at and what he's doing. But it looks like the agreement was to try to revitalize putting his name for recognition on a tower overseas. So it looks like he's trying to revitalize this. There's something new coming in, some new information coming in regards to that. And even though, but it looks like the news is going to take a long time to get there. So it looks like once he leaves the office, he's trying to have this deal already put together. So if this is him right now in a position of authority in the government, this cannot happen while he's there. It has to wait until he leaves. This is leaving. This is news coming in, or it's actually action. So it looks like he's trying to make this deal now so that when he leaves, he can go ahead and put his name on it, because he's not being allowed to do that right now, or he's being stopped from doing that, or he needs to bury that information. There's also difficult news coming in here. There's one very difficult, very burdensome news, and then there's also very good news. Okay, an important visitor, or a happy visitor. This is also a very significant visitor. So from this right here, I can tell that they quite possibly discussed Kim Jong-un, another person of authority overseas. But there's a significant visitor, significant news coming in. One bit of news is difficult. The other one is really, really good. In his eyes, in his view. So it looks like for him to put his name on that tower is going to take a long time, but he's looking for that opportunity to make that deal. This is a person that is quite difficult, a new burden, a new difficulty with someone that's in government, and there's news coming out about that. But we see an end to someone's reputation here. We see an ending to someone's power, and it's a person that's in significant power, or someone's assets. So there's an ending to that. There's an ending to reputation, to his honors, and it has to do with a significant person in a position of authority, or someone's assets and financing. This here looks like an institution that provides financing, and it can also be a person that's in a position of authority. So like the head of state, or the president, or someone that is the very top dog in a government or in a corporation. But that person is going to see a significant ending, very significant ending to their career and their reputation. Let me see what else I have here. There's something that's going on overseas, or someone that is distant or far that is well known, and that person is going to have an ending. There's something that is going to end with that person. So it looks like the agreement that they tried to make was something to do with him putting his name on a tower once he leaves office. And it could have something else to do with a younger person in authority that needs to be stopped or needs to be ended. So perhaps he's asking for assistance in his negotiations right there with someone overseas that's a younger authority figure that needs to be stopped, or needs to be buried, or needs to suffer a significant loss. So that could be them talking about Kim Jong-un, and to see if there's some sort of an agreement that could be made with Kim Jong-un. It's a person overseas, a small, younger person overseas that needs to be stopped. So yeah, that's what I got for that one. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on my next one. Thanks.